Well, hi everybody. I hope you guys are having a good evening. I'm Liao. I'm the founder of TOTES and T's design course. And I thought that I would just give kind of a quick introduction about myself. As you guys have maybe seen from the little blurb that I've traveled a little bit around places. And actually, that's the backbone of TOTES and T's. I was raised in South Africa. I was born in Taiwan, and then I left when I was 9 months, and then I moved to South Africa. I lived there for 10 years, and then I moved to North Carolina in the United States, and then to Holland, and then to Taiwan for a year, and then to Melbourne, Australia. And then I ended up in South Korea for high school. I graduated there, and then university, I was in Australia and Germany. So that's a little summary of my life there, okay? Next. So how did this TOTES and T's begin? Basically, it was 3 years ago in 2013. I came back and I decided, I just finished design university and, what to do next. So I was doing a whole bunch of different kinds of jobs, and a friend of mine was like, I have this opportunity for you. You seem to really like children, and I don't like children as much, and it's about creative things, so maybe you should go give it a shot. So at the Experimental Elementary in Taipei, they were looking for a fashion design teacher. And when I went there, there wasn't any curriculum or anything like that. So I knew that, they kind of wanted just this sort of after-school activity where, kids could just go there and make their clothing or and then feel great about themselves. But I wanted something so much more for them because I came from a communication design background. I knew that, the thought behind design should be the drive. It shouldn't just be something that you finish drawing and then that's it, right? I wanted something deeper. And so I looked into, what could really help them in the long run of things. What could really, help them, inspire them to make, bigger changes or to give them life skills. So this is, what I want to give them, and I want to give them global thinking. So why TOTES and T's? Some people might think TOTES and T's is a bit boring, isn't it? Isn't there something more fancy? But that's actually the basis. Is TOTES and T's is about your basic values, your basic everything. Who owns a T-shirt here? Please raise your hand. T-shirts. Do you own a T-shirt? Raise your hand if you own a T-shirt. Wow. Okay, some people don't own T-shirts. I'm shocked. Okay, but in general, everybody has kind of a white shirt or something like that, very, very basic cotton shirt. And as with tote bags are given around freely, and some of them are very, it spans from really, really free price to really high. It depends on the design. So these two things are really great basis for creative exploration. It's like a very clean paper, but clothing. Now, one of the things I really thought about is that, since it's about fashion design, it's about education, shouldn't we think about what it means, what is fashion, right? What are the things revolving around fashion? And so, these are the things that are involved in fashion. As you can see, it's not the best things, right? We look at all the fancy things, but here are all the issues at stake. Okay, so the things that I really cared about when I was going through my design thinking about how to design this course, I knew that at the school I couldn't really provide, really high quality materials for what I wanted in terms of values because they were very, very low on budget. So after I finished teaching there, I took a year to really just brainstorm and think about all the values that I cared about and that should be encompassed in this curriculum. And the first one is ethics and wholesome agriculture, sustainable business model, cross-collaborations, which is about the future and what FutureWard is all about, and creating opportunities, harnessing mutual respect, social topics, being inclusive and not exclusive, and shared values, creative movement, and global citizenship. That's a whole lot of things in the system. Okay, values. So nurture from the ground up. And I want everybody to keep that in mind when we're going through this presentation. So this image isn't, the image that we want to see or associate ourselves with as a consumer-based society, but this is the truth. And this is actually the starting point of how TOTES and T's went through is going through the social entrepreneurship. A friend of mine, he works in marine conservation, and he was very nice to introduce me to a founder of Ecomax. Who knows Ecomax here? Please raise your hand. Nobody, right? Okay, so Ecomax is actually an apparel factory that manufactures things out of bottles. So they recycle plastic bottles from the ocean or like from trash and waste. And then it's actually a Taiwanese company. They've been working with so many big companies around the world, with Disney, with Coca-Cola, everything. But people don't really know about them. And that's why I wanted to start the conversation through Ecomax. So our tote bags uses 4 recycled PET bottles, and our t-shirts are 100% cotton. We wanted to use these values and this base to start educating our students and the people that were involved in the program on, sustainable and ethical fashion, to create kind of a conversation. So our slogan is empowering children through design education. Okay, so what we do is basically we have 2 different kinds of programs, and in these 2 programs, the first one they learn about branding and how do you get their ideas across, and how do you create a cohesive sort of style, your own style, and learn more about yourself and your values. And then the second part is where the entrepreneurship program kicks in. Okay? And this is a quote that I really care about. And it's basically the really famous quote, which is, give a man a fish and you feed him for a day. Teach a man 2 fish and you feed him for a lifetime. So that is what this course is all about. It's about giving these important knowledge to these children to develop themselves as individuals so they can be leaders in the world and in society. And the people that they sort of reach, they can also feel empowered through this brand and through their designs. Okay, so the things that we do, we go through like different kinds of workshops, we have courses, and we really share about innovative materials. Who knows Pinatex? Pineapple leather. Don't know. Okay, that's another thing that's actually one of the newest items now, and it's basically leather made from pineapples. Okay, and this is kind of like the gist of the program, what they go through. So if you look over here, okay, so if you look over here, right, you have all these different designs, but these ones, you see these ones in the middle? They're kind of more similar, aren't they? Like in terms of their face, there's not much sort of like different kind of expression or personality. And even though our young creative over here was really, really good at drawing, he was very interested in drawing, but because there was a lack of, there wasn't enough knowledge to broaden his ideas from, we taught him design thinking. And after just several hours, he came up with all these different ones around here, which is really amazing. And then that was his final design. And this is another one. Can someone guess how old this boy is? Just raise your hand. 4? Are you going very low because I said children? Yes, he's actually 7. Okay. And then for our course, we also wanted to provide a sort of a platform where the kids actually get to showcase their things and people get to come and see and really learn about their knowledge, which is what design is all about. And all our topics are related to social issues and topics. So every semester we base it on a social topic, and then we sort of branch off from that and then create something. But this was like the first one at the school. So yeah. So creativity is intelligence having fun, right? So our program is all about creative thinking, design, and giving back. These are the 3 key values for the kids. And this one is very interesting, these ones. What do you think that looks like? Fruits? Straight away, right? But then behind it, you see what? Animals. Okay, so that's already meeting what we wanted to teach in the class. So we basically split the children into 2 teams, and one was plants and the other one was animals. The one that was in plants could, have an animal face, but when you look at it, it has to be a plant-based thing. So they reach that target. Okay, so in social entrepreneurship, obviously when I started out, I didn't think about social entrepreneurship. I just had these things that I wanted to do and wanted to achieve. And then through this journey, I started to meet partners and supporters along the way, and here are just a few of them. This is where we teach at Number 6 Studio. Number 6, every partner that you see right now, if you research on them, they're very, very unique in a way that they align with our values almost 100%. They're all very unique in the way that they're very creative. So creative isn't just like, okay, so you're teaching art, right? They have very interesting strategies to teach in a way that's very unique to themselves. And even with food, these ones are actually restaurants, Plants, Miscreen, and Mianto, because for our lunch, we pair up with them for wholesome foods to educate them about agriculture, because cotton, as you know, is a plant. And so we really wanted to do a whole lifestyle education. So one of our sister programs is Wasabi Art Lab. Another one is Mr. Sun's Performing Arts. So we're always, first and foremost, education is at the heart of everything we do. Even in our brand, everything that you buy, everything that you see, there's a message behind it that is not just like, oh, that's a cute design by a little kid, or that's a cute design by someone. There's always some message behind it that, in everything, you can learn something. Basically, that's what we wanted to reach. And number 2 is the brand. And these are empowering society through cross-collaboration. So as you can see here, these are just a few of the photos that we've done this year. We started doing a lot of events in different places, from Maji Square to all the private ones in the restaurants and things like that. And everything has just come like a very unique experience. They learn about the the whole ethical component, but also the lifestyle component, as well the creative component. So everything is aligned. Okay, so we do the empowerment one tote and one tea at a time. Okay, and at the very beginning, I actually didn't mention this, was my drive to create this brand this year was actually because of World Design Capital. And you guys all know about World Design Capital, right? So that was actually my drive. I was like, oh my God, design is really happening here in Taipei. I have to do something together, because I knew that it was the right moment and the right time that people could understand, and they could, because I think with social entrepreneurship, it's a very, very hard journey, and you're always fighting people, because people will tell you, this isn't going to work out, your values don't align with business. They don't, how do you make money? How do you do something that is like meaningful, but you can still survive? And I guess like for me, I don't want to prove them wrong, but I want to prove myself right. That I believe that values should drive your business. It should be completely connected. And that, I guess, is how it all started. Okay? So, please follow us. We have a shop coming soon.